各位亲爱的网友朋友，大家好。
Hello, my dear
对，
friends.
今天到了我们这个班圆满的日子
So
来了
today
哈。
is the completion day of this class.
都是多多
I
少少都是
believe
有收益的
all of you
啊，
would have
尤其是在
received
重新学习
more or
地
less
藏经
something,
的
some
讲解和认识
benefits,
哈，
and
让我们能够
especially
更加有了深刻的
understanding
印象
of the Earth Store Sutra. You
明白
would
了很多过去
understand more
确实没
and
地
you
方
would
学习
know
的
something
宝
that
贵
you
的知识。
didn't know
如果不
before.
学这部经典，
If
我
you
们为什么倒霉？我们为什么得
haven't
病？
learned
我
this
们为什么
sutra,
不顺
why
利？
you
为什么
have
孩子不
you
争
know
气？其实很
unfortunate
多时候我们
things
根本
or
就
why
没法
children are
理
not
解，
good
也
or
找不到根源。
some
现
unhappy
在
things
已经
happen,
开
you
始找
didn't
到了。
know the reason, but now you know
那我们今天的
the
这个内
cause
容
and the
叫
source.
所谓的一招得解脱。那这一招是什么呢？其
So
实这个经文之
today's
中已经贯穿下来了。
topics
是什么呢？我也
about
不知道。
the way to
这
liberation.
听大家
Actually,
接
it
下来
has
要
already
讲到的
been
他们的
taught
这
through the
种
whole
很奇
sutra.
特并且神奇，甚至还有离奇的那个故事。
There are a lot of
今
stories
天的
that our
大家
online
写
friends
来的这个
shared,
信
and
哈，
some of them
就
are
是
even
又
very,
好
you
玩
know,
又
like
恐怖又离奇又
very
不得不
some
提
of them
啊，
are fun,
特
some of
别
them
好
are
玩哈。
interesting, some of them
否
are
则你们
like
先讲
very
啊，
like
否则
miraculous. And
感恩
so
师傅。
厉害的故事来了。
oh
对，
okay,
首先呢，
so
带
Joyce,
给
you're
我们
going to share a
师傅
story?
和网友们
Yeah,
哈，
so
是我们一
the
个网友
first
的一个
story
故事的分享。
is
他的这个
a
故事的名字啊叫烤全
story
羊。
about
好听。
roasting the whole lamb. That's
师傅好，今年农
the
历7
title of
月
the
开
story.
始，
So
我
hello
连续做
Grandmaster.
了
Starting
3个
from
梦，祈
this
请师傅
lunar
开示。
September,
第一个梦，
lunar July,
梦
I
到
had
已故的父
3
亲火葬，
dreams. So the
被
first
放
dream
到
I dreamed
烤
of
全
the
羊
deceased
炉一样
father
的地
be
方去火葬。
cremated and
有人还告
in
诉
a,
我
in
烧
a,
出
in
了
a
5个舍
furnace
利
for
子让我去
roasting the
烤。
whole
舍
lamb.
利
And
子
somebody
晶莹
also
剔
said,
透，
oh, you had
像玉
5
石一样被
relics
放在
and
盘子
they're
里。
so
突
clear
然，
and
火葬中
bright
的父
like the
亲
jade and put
起
on the
身
plate.
要给我治病，
Suddenly,
抓住我的
my
胸部，
deceased father
按着
from
我
the
喘不过
cremation
气，
stood
后
up
来
and
把
wanted
他
to
按醒
heal
了。
me and
那
pressed
醒
on my
了以
chest.
后，
I
白
couldn't
天
even
呢，我
breathe.
立
And then
刻
I
就
woke
给
up.
父
So in the
亲和母
daytime,
亲
I
做了功课。
immediately went to do merits for
过
my
了2
father
天，
and my
晚
mother.
上又梦到父亲，
After 2 days,
父
I
亲
dreamed of
对
my
着
father
睡
again.
在床上的
And
我说：
he
你
talked to
还在
me,
发烧
who
啊？
was
病
lying
还
on
没
the bed.
好
He said,
啊？
you're still
并
having
帮我
fever?
盖了盖
You're
被子，
still not good
我
from
又
the
醒了。
illness? And he
那
covered
这一
me with
天
a
醒来
quilt.
以
And
后
then I
呢，
woke up
白
again.
天我又
And
继续
that
给父
day,
亲和
in
母
the
亲做了
daylight,
功
when I
课。
woke up, I
在
continued to do
农历
merits
7
my
月
father
14 的
and my
晚上，
mother.
我又梦到了
On
父亲。
lunar July the
梦中
14th
有
at night, I
很多
dreamed of
人
my
被
father
关在
again.
一
In
个
the
大
dream,
院
there
子
are
里，
lots of people
很多
who
人都
are
在找我父亲。
locked in the
有个
big
披着白
yard,
衣的
and
人，
a
嘴
lot
里
of people
还
are
喊
trying
着
to find
我
my
知道
father, and
大门
someone
开了，
wearing an
我们可
overcoat
以
was
走
yelling,
了。
Lao
我
Chang, the
父
door is
亲躲在
open,
一
we
个
could
有
go
佛像
now.
的山洞里，
My father
躲
was
在了佛
hiding
像
in
背
the
后
cave
防
with
臭
Buddha's
灯的帘
statue
子里。
and was
山洞里的卫
hiding
生
in
不
the
是很干
curtain,
净，
the yellow
父
silk
亲被
curtain
堵出了
behind
山
the
洞。
Buddha statue.
梦
It was
中，
not very
父亲
clean
又
in
跟
the
师傅
cave.
在一
And then
起，
the
感
father
觉师傅去帮他超度
my
一样。
father was out of the
父
cave.
亲和
In the
师
dream,
傅
my
一起
father
沿
was
着
with
山上的台
Grandmaster,
阶，到
and
了一
as
个
if
山顶
Grandmaster
上。
was,
一
releasing
路上， 我
his
父亲
soul.
边
And then
走
they
边
went
念
all the
佛。
way up to the
师傅
top of the
说：
mountain.
你
My
念佛已
father
经
was
念得很
walking
好了。
as and was
路
chanting
上
while he was
碰到一
walking.
个
And
挑着
Grandmaster said,
背
"Oh,
担着
you
担
are
子
now
的中年
chanting
妇
very
女，
well." On the
师傅也让她一
halfway,
起跟着去。
they
当
saw a
时中
middle-aged
年妇女
woman
的脸上
carrying
露
some
出了一
load,
个
and
非常
Grandmaster asked
幸
him
福
to
喜
follow
悦的
them.
表情，
And the
于是
middle-aged
也跟着
woman
师傅去
showed
了。
an expression
到了
that's
山
like
顶，山顶
overjoyed.
非常
And then
平
she
坦，
followed
就像个
Grandmaster.
大广
At the
场。
top of the
天
mountain,
空
it was
中还
very
有红
flat, like a
黄
big
色的阳
square.
光。
In the sky, there's the
父亲呢，
yellowish
手里
and
还拿着一
reddish
截钱，
sunlight.
脸
My
上
father
非
was
常
also
高兴。
holding
我的
some
梦就醒
cash
了。
and
再
very
介绍一
happy.
下
And
背
then
景
I
啊，
woke up.
我呢是去
So
年12月底
The background is last December, end of December, I had an operation for the early stomach cancer. And after that, I followed Grandmaster to practice and benefited a lot. I recovered very well. And so I'd like to pray Master would explain these dreams. What does it mean? My father tried to cure me and cover a quilt on me. And my parents are all both deceased. The middle-aged woman in the dream, is she my mother? So these three dreams. So the first was pretty, quite terrifying. Yeah, it was like he was in roasting the whole lamb, and her father was like burning in like a roast lamb, and that's very strange. And so, Kunti, do you feel like just intuitively, do you feel it's good? Not very good, yeah. As if it is like in a hell, you're like burning. Yeah, they're like the hell of burning hands and burned feet, and this is like burning the whole body, like roasting the whole lamb, you know. When the lamb was killed and roasting, and for a human being, do you think it's not very auspicious in itself. So this is the first dream. So it means that the deceased father is still suffering there. We cannot just, guess. It's a very probably. And also he was like burning there, but he stood up and pressed her chest and tried to cure her. And so Grandmaster says the father, wherever he is, even when he is in hell, usually the father's love will never change. And even if you've done something wrong, as long as you just repent a little bit and show it a little bit, and your parents will love you, without any hesitation. And so the father tried to cure her and press her heart. I can only say so. So this 彩玉, maybe your body, especially your chest or somewhere close to your chest, may have diseases, and so your father was pressing there. And so so 彩玉 said she just had a stomach cancer surgery. Yeah, so it's close to the chest. So she was sick. Yeah, the father said she was sick and was trying to cure her. Yeah, and even cover the quilt on her. So the father is caring about her. Yeah, and even so, if it's there's a kind of quilt, it's called merit quilt. The father is even giving merits to her. Father wanted to protect her, a whole life, and hope her father hope her will be, healthy whole life. You're already at this age, your father is still covering you with the quilt. This love is, priceless. And even the father has already deceased, and she's even suffering, and his soul is still caring about the daughter. So touching. And 彩玉 was also very filial, and right after the dream she would do merits for her parents. Yeah, so 彩玉 is a good daughter, and that's why her father loves her so much, and he's not wasting her love and wasting his love. And even when his father has already deceased, and he's still caring about her so much and never reduce any love. And after doing the merits, and then on lunar July the 14th at night. Yeah, so on the 15th was lunar July 15th was the Ulaanbaatar festival, and lunar July the 14th at night, her father appeared again. And first, a lot of people were locked in a big yard, and so they were all trying to find her daughter and said, Lao Zhang, the door is open. Yeah, can go now. Yeah. So what door is it, right? Is that the door of hell? So we heard that all compassionate Earth Store Bodhisattva, every year, in order to rescue a whole batch of beings, especially in the hungry ghost realm and hell, and so he would use his tin stick, even much more powerful than Monkey King's stick, a gold stick, and so he would like stump the stick, and then the door of hell will open, and then he said, go, now you can go. And when the door is open, every being wants to escape. they're suffering. Not necessarily they are beaten there, but a lot of times there's so like lack of freedom there, and nobody in a prison wants to stay in prison, right? So those beings, they are locked there and they have been deprived of their freedom. So very painful, very so on July the 14th, the doors open and say, Lao Zhang, let's go. And so Lao Zhang was very lucky, and he came out and he saw Grandmaster, and he knew that Grandmaster is coming to rescue him, is coming to help him. Grandmaster said yes, and so he followed Grandmaster to go all the way up. Go up. And he was chanting while he was walking, and Grandmaster even praised him and said, "You chant very well." So he received Grandmaster's praise. That's so wonderful. And on the way, they also met a middle-aged woman who was carrying the load, and Grandmaster said, let's go. And so this middle-aged woman was very wise and very happily and overjoyed, and it was like a happy surprise, and immediately followed Grandmaster to go. And they went to the top of the mountain, and the top of the mountain was so flat like a square, and there was yellowish and reddish sunlight. It's like the Buddha light shines on everywhere. So when they see the light at the top of the mountain, Grandmaster said this is the most important. A lot of times when they are in hell, there would never be any light. So in the dream, when there's light, it's auspiciousness and wish fulfillment. And so this is the light from Buddha. And so his father was rescued from the cave, and the cave was not clean. So Grandmaster said it must be hungry ghost realm. And before, they must have done some merit early on. And that's why he was hiding behind the Buddha statue. So Buddha and Bodhisattva are protecting him. Even if he was in the hell, he still can hide behind the Buddha statue. So when they do merits, it's completely different. So this, And so when he saw the top of the mountain with the Buddha light, and his father was also holding some cash, and not only being liberated, but also got money to spend, So wherever you have money, then it's a happy thing, right? When you have money, it's easy to do things. So Cai Yu was also very happy and woke up from there, And she also asked Grandmaster in the first dream, even though her father was in the furnace and cremating, and there were some relics. So what does the relics mean? Well, this is merit. So her father actually had some merit. So he probably had done some kind deeds before and merits before, or have done something for a Buddhist school or something. Because Buddha is very compassionate. So even if you have just read Earth Store Sutra once, then the seed of merit is already planted, and so the seed of merit is relics. And if there are 4 people heard you read this, then you already had 5 relics. So to have merits in Buddhism is very easy. You think it's easy, right? Reading the sutra is easy, and other things are easy, but the merits are a lot. Even when he was in the hell, he didn't suffer much, and he was released very quickly and liberated very quickly. And also because the daughter, who was very filial, did a lot of merits for him, continuously did merits for him. And also another question is about the middle-aged woman. Was that her mother? Grandmaster said, I think possibly, because her parents are deceased, and in addition to myself, one is her father, and the other one very likely to be her mother. So both mother and father are liberated, are all on the top of the mountain, and her mother was carrying load, so it could be heavy, right? And her mother actually had some had some karma. The load is the karma, but still she was liberated even with the load, with the karma. And on the top of the mountain they saw the Buddha light. So this is not in hell, it's not in the underground, it's up there. And so beings like these, when they reincarnate into human beings, they will become, wealthy person. They have money in their hands, right? So maybe in the future they will become a very wealthy landlord, or a big, very, very rich person. So even in the human realm, will be very wealthy, and or they will be reborn in the heavenly realm. So congratulations, Tai Yi, and gratitude to Grandmaster to liberate them. And thank you, Grandmaster said, thank you, Tai Yi. You are so filial to do merits for your parents, and your parents are looking after you too. Now they are liberated because of your merits too. Yeah. So this is the way to liberation. So okay, congratulations. I'll give you a present. So this is the blessed bead, auspicious, blessed. Oh, wow, shiny blue bead. So this is for you. And wish you auspicious and auspiciousness and wish fulfillment. And then next, I like to share Hong Zhengzhu from Taiwan, her story. It's about karmic creditor asked me to offer light. So, hello, Grandmaster. I came to Bodhi meditation in 2017. In September, I joined a chanting class, and the teachers introduced one of the 3 treasures of Bodhi, which is light offering, and encouraged us to offer lights for our parents of past 7 lives and karmic creditors. I didn't understand too much about the benefits and amazingness of light offering, so I didn't offer lights. On the 5th night of the chanting class, in my dream, I felt that there are eyes like in my chest and my back, and feel so cold, and I was yelling, Grandmaster, save me. And then after I yelled that, the icy cold feeling disappeared. But the next night, this feeling comes again, and there are also some sound like talking beside my ears, as if somebody's talking. And when I was awakened, I was thinking, oh, what is that? It was not human language, and it was not heavenly language. I was thinking, well, would it be the sound from the hell? And then on the 7th night, this happened again. Continues the 3 days. There are 2 people, talking, and very loud noise and non-stop. And so I thought, oh, okay, I'll go offer lights tomorrow. And right after that, the sound completely disappeared. Even until now, no sound appeared again. And after 3 years, we're very safe and secure. So now anybody, when my friends have any problems or difficulties, I will suggest them to come offer lights at the center, and they all benefited. And also in 2020, on Lunar July the 1st, once when I was chanting, I was chanting Earth Store Bodhisattva's heart mantra, following Grandmaster, and suddenly I start to burp and yarn. And I raised my head, and I saw Earth Store Bodhisattva on the altar and holding that tin stick, and his body was so huge and even bigger than Medicine Buddha's picture on the altar. And he was so compassionate and gentle. And a lot of sentient beings are in the air under the altar, and maybe they're coming to listen to him, his teachings, or beg for his salvation. And also Bodhisattva is gently, lowering the head and look at all sentient beings. And I just felt my heart suddenly becomes so soft, and I feel Buddha and Bodhisattva is so gentle. My tear falls down. And these experiences I've never shared before. So this time I'm so happy to share. And so, yeah, so her sharing is very genuine, because she shared that at the beginning she didn't believe at all, so she didn't offer lights, but her own experience convinced her. For 3 days there's always two sounds, the two voices like chatting and talking. And so after 3 nights, finally she thought, okay, tomorrow I offer lights for you. And right after she thought about that, the noise disappeared. And after she offered the light, and all of these chatters and everything disappeared. And so Grandmaster said, who was that? Who were that chattering there? Maybe the souls that needs help. Yeah, so that could possibly be the souls. And she was on the chanting class. She heard the benefit of light offering, but she didn't do. Yeah. And so those souls, it's like, you already know the benefit, you didn't do. And so Grandmaster says, usually on Ulaanbaatar festival, the sentient beings, when we help them, yeah, so a lot of them are karmic creditors. They have something to do with you. Maybe you owe them money, or you owe them love or something. And so through her, they want to get liberated. And so when she said, I'll offer lights, and then they stop chattering anymore. And so their grudges will be dissolved, and with the merit. So these chattering, so this online friend Hong Zhenju, what if she didn't listen, and maybe she could even have illnesses because you owe them, right? And that's why they come to bother you. But the chi from the ghost, you won't be able to bear it if it comes to you. And if you go to the doctors, then doctors would say, maybe this is an illusion. They would not believe it, and they would just give you a medicine, make you very dizzy, and you'll never be clear-minded. And as if you're like night daydreaming, or yeah. And so maybe that's the noise from the souls. And then even in the human body, in the human realm, now that you won't hear any other noise. So, but luckily she offered light, so she was wise, and so she was like so afflicted because of these noises. And so those karmic creditors, they didn't want to see that she was enjoying here, but they were suffering there. So they were chattering, and that's just a very easy suffer, right? And yeah, this is very kind karmic creditor, not very cruel. Yeah, some people would be tortured to like death, and they could have an accident or something. But this experience has proved the benefits of light offering. And so our online friends, you don't really need to wait until you experience it yourself. Yeah. So light offering is not what Grandmaster said, it's not my invention, it's Buddha's teachings. Yeah, this is one of the ways for you to build merits. And the most important teachings here are from Buddha. Buddha is just using our mouths. We just repeat it a few times. Whoever believe in it, who benefit, whoever do it earlier, who will benefit earlier. And so the earlier you believe, then the earlier you benefit. Do we give, shall we give present to her? Well, yeah. Of course, Hong Zhenju. I'll give you this a little bit reddish pearl. So I'll give you, yeah, so wish you auspiciousness and wish fulfillment. And next sharing is from Qing Yun. the merit saved her father and dreamed a big black fish. So hello, Grandmaster. I'm your disciple who have never met you. Last year, because of a good opportunity, I got to know you, and I followed your YouTube to learn Buddha Dharma. And during this time, I had the opportunity also to learn energy Bagua, and through the practice, my deficiency of qi and blood all improved. I get healthier and healthier. Thank you so much, Grandmaster. And last month, in that Guanyin Bodhisattva's blessing chanting class, one day I felt chest pain and I start to cough and have running nose. And there are also blood in the snot. The doctor said it was because of fire, but I feel something not so good, so I start to chant. That night, I dreamed of a big black fish in a pond. And in the pond, there was no water. A lot of people were around the fish and trying to catch the fish. I went there. I touched the fish gently, and then he went inside a transparent bag. And so I left. But when I come back, I saw that the fish belly was cut open and looks very miserable. I was so sad. Oh no, fish, what a pity, you're a fish, and so you'll be eaten by others. It was all because of me. I touched you, otherwise you won't be caught. And there was another pot beside it, so I felt so sad, so I was ready to go, but somehow the fish opened the door and looked at me like helplessly, and so I felt even sadder, and I thought, what can I do for him? And so the sad, as if know what I was thinking, and there was a voice coming, say, you can save me. And so I immediately hold the fish on the table and open the chest of the fish, and I was thinking, how can I save him? And I was crying, and it's another sound said, don't worry, don't be sad, I'll be fine, just find the key and you'll be able to save me. The key in Chinese is 钥匙, and so I don't know what key, so I tried to find the key in the chest, and then I found a silver string. I don't know whether it is, and I felt that in the chest there's a treasure box, and there's a lock, and there was a force that's guiding me to open the lock, and there were characters that I cannot read. And then I look at the fish, and I was very sad and talked to him and said, I haven't unlocked the lock. I didn't know what to do for you. And then I was crying, but the fish looked at me very gently and said, you have already helped me. I'm already fine. Don't be sad. And then I woke up, and the fish always appear in my mind. I feel very uneasy. And then I thought about my dad, because he always loved eating fish. Because I learned from Grandmaster, I thought, oh, would it be the fish that was harmed by dad who came to my dream, and they have resentment? And then I immediately went to the meditation center to offer incense and chant, but something still happened. I received a phone call from my younger brother and said my father was hospitalized, and suddenly he was coughing blood, and the doctor said it's inflammation in the lungs, and they need to check further. And I thought, oh no, they're coming to find my dad. And so I just thought about chanting for my mother. And the next day was lunar July the 17th. It's Guanyin Bodhisattva's enlightenment anniversary, and it was the first day of the chanting class, and I chanted sincerely and dedicate the merits to dad. In the afternoon, the check result comes out, it's lung cancer. I felt it was such a miserable shock, and my dad, my younger brother, was crying and said, the doctor said it's too serious, so they do not suggest surgery. And I cried a long time at the meditation center, and suddenly I thought about the sound 钥匙, the key. Oh, the fish in my dream had the key, and then it saved him, right? And then 钥匙 has the same pronunciation as medicine Buddha. How come I didn't thought about that? It must be Buddhas and Bodhisattvas actually is reminding me. And maybe, well, if I have difficulty, I should find medicine Buddha. And Grandmaster is the manifestation of Grandmaster. And so maybe Buddhas want me to do merits for my father. I immediately opened the website for Yushu Hong and sponsored for the Sutra of Contemplation. And then I continued to chant, and I phoned my younger brother and said, Buddhas, Bodhisattva will protect me, don't worry. And we can change a hospital to check my father again. And the second day, I continued to chant and dedicate the merits to him. But then I felt that only one sponsorship is too little. It won't be able to resolve all the resentment from the karmic creditors. And so I did 2 more sponsorship for the Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra. And then I chant and dedicate merits. And my younger brother said after 3 days, they will check in the provincial hospital, and I comforted my younger brother not to panic. I believe Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless my father. On the 5th day of the chanting class, I offered the lights again and pray that my father's test result will change. It won't be too serious, and dedicate all the merits to father. The result is really happy. After checking in the provincial hospital, it was lung cancer, but it's not too serious. It was the early stage of cancer, so they can still do the surgery. When I heard the news, my tears rushed down, and I immediately went to the meditation center to prostrate and offer lights. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless my father. I'm so grateful. And light offering is so miraculous. And then so the hospital said they can do the surgery, but there's no bed for him. And so I continued to chant. And after I chant Medicine Buddha's heart mantra, they had a bed for my father. And they said in the next afternoon, 5:30 p.m. would be the surgery. Thank you, all compassionate Medicine Buddha. And I thought, oh, surgery is not a small issue. So I offered a big light for my father and prayed that the surgery will be all smooth. And I dedicate the merits of chanting to all the karmic creditors of my father. I remember when I was little, we were poor, so my father would purchase some chickens and ducks and then resell them, and he would inject a lot of water and food inside the chickens and ducks' belly so that it would weigh more. Just think about that. They could be so painful. And I chanted, I read sutras and dedicate the merits to them. In a dream, at night, I dreamed of the chickens and ducks. They're in a line. I feel that they are now at ease, and they walked away. Even though they didn't say something, they're at ease. I felt that the merits is having some effect on him. After the chanting class, I continued to chant, and I pray for the blessings. I hoped that Dad's operation would be done early so he doesn't have to be hungry for a whole day. Well, magical thing happened again. 5:30 p.m. operation moved to 2:30 p.m. And so because of Grandmaster's blessing, the whole surgery was very smooth, and he was able to now get off bed and walk, and recovered very well. So thank you, Grandmaster and Buddha's Bodhisattva, for the blessings and protection. So this is a very joyful sharing, even though her father was sick, but the result is almost the best that we could imagine. Yeah, and it's not that serious, and he did have a very successful surgery, and he's recovering well. Yeah, she actually recorded all the time and everything. And so she also has a very good connection with Buddha and Grandmaster. Yeah, just the day before she followed Grandmaster chanting class, she had a dream of the big black fish, and the fish belly was cut open, and she was trying to save the fish, and then the fish just said, "Go find a key." Key, in Chinese, the pronunciation is similar to medicine Buddha. Yeah, and then so the key saved the fish, and also medicine Buddha saved her father. Yeah. So now let's, if she didn't join the chanting class, maybe the result could be completely different. So she really had a lot of, faith in Grandmaster and in Buddhas and Bodhisattva. So she did a lot of merits and very sincerely chant. Again and again, she did offerings and, sponsorship and light offerings. And her dreams are very unique. And she dreamed of the black fish, and the belly was cut open, and the key and the treasure box and all of these. Yeah, it's quite interesting. But the black fish has been cut open. So is this auspicious? No. Which actually correspond to her father's surgery. But does it has anything to do with the fish? Oh, because the father loves to eat fish, and also her father would buy the chickens and ducks, and also, a lot of dealers for chickens and ducks, a lot of times they would, stuff a lot of things inside their belly to increase the weight. So those people who buy those, chicken and ducks and pigs, they purchase them by weight. When the duck without food, maybe like 1.5 kilograms, and then they could make it 2.5 kilograms. They could put some water because they cannot, they couldn't, so the chickens and ducks couldn't spit out all of that. Yeah. So I saw, Grandmaster said, I saw that they tried to stuff the pig, and then they pull the pig, and then they use a metal tube, and then they have a pump, and they have big buckets of, it's not real food it's just for increasing the weight. It's very heavy, even sand and earth and mud. And then they pump all of these inside the belly, and the pig cannot refuse. And then you just see that the pig's belly start to inflate. And 150, like 75 kilograms of pig, well, after these will be like maybe 200 or 100 kilograms or something. And so, so when we hear about Qing Yun's story, so whoever have done that, it could come back to you, maybe even worse than that. Maybe when you're sent into the hell, you would also be stuffed, but stuffed with the yucky poo, and would be even more yuckier than what you can imagine. And so Qing Yun dreamed of that in a dream, and that's actually reminding us what we need to do when we sell things. Should we put something fake there or some? There are a lot. Eventually you're actually harming others, but you're eventually harming themselves. And so she also dreamed of the chickens and ducks walking. Yeah. Some of the chickens and ducks are about to die because of the too much stuffings there. And so they just want to earn, like make more money from each duck or each chicken. And so a lot of times we scold people, say, your lack of virtues. Yeah, your lack of virtues and morals. And because of that, it will come back to you. You would have to carry so many times. Maybe you stuffed 5,000 ducks. Maybe there will be 5,000 times, or Grandmaster said more than 5,000 times. There would be 10,000 times, 10,000 fold in the hell. You would be stuffed maybe with excrements for 5,000 years. Some people will say, oh, I've never been to hell, but what about in the human realm? Maybe you have got a disease that's very suffering. Yeah, you would be alive, but you suffer so much. It would be terrifying. Yeah. So all kinds of illnesses. None of the illnesses are comfortable. So Qingyun has very good connection with Grandmaster and is very filial. For a whole year, she learned all of these and she put into use. And so just use the way to liberation, and her sincerity. Actually, Buddha's Bodhisattva want her to see that. Yeah. So this is really great. So shall we give Qingyun a bead? So most importantly, her father was saved, and so as the daughter, you would feel happy. I really praise you for being a very filial daughter. Buddha's Bodhisattva will bless you, and you will be happy and live 100 years.
爸爸那个恢复了一些的话，就一起可以走八卦啊。
Yeah, and Joy said after your dad recovered, then maybe both of you can walk energy bagua and you'll definitely benefit. So I'll give you this yellow and greenish bead. So I've already given you blessings. Thank you, Grandmaster. So next sharing is from an online friend, Cheng Cheng. Has my cousin be reincarnated? So last year, at the beginning of February, the first daughter-in-law in my second uncle's house broke her leg when she was riding on a bicycle. And after a few days, the second daughter-in-law bumped into a stone when she was riding a bicycle and smashed her face and mouth and had over 10 stitches. And after I heard about it, but I was too busy. Only until the beginning of October, I had some days off to drive over to my hometown to visit them. It was like 3 a.m. There was a cat came to my door and was meow meow and was yelling, and it was very scary. And so I got up and offered incense and prostrated and prayed for Buddha to bless me. And so I played Grandmaster's Guanyin Bodhisattva's sacred name, and I successfully and very smoothly went to my hometown. And then I went to see my aunt, and there was another cat was meow meow, was crying and was also very scary. What does it mean? So what happened? And then just before I would go back home, there was a bad news. The eldest son of my second uncle, who's my cousin, he's 49 years old, and he was driving a truck to pull some corn, but on the curve, in order to avoid another car, he, together with the truck, fell into the river, and when he was carried up, he already passed, already dead. And so this must be comic. I was thinking, oh, this must be comic creditor coming to, ask for the debt to be paid back. And so I immediately offered a big light made a light offering at the meditation center and hope that Medicine Buddha Buddha will guide my cousin. After I came back from my hometown, I dreamed of a young little boy at the side of my bed and kissed me with a smile. And then not long later, my another daughter-in-law of my second uncle delivered a boy very similar to that boy. So has my cousin be reincarnated? So let's review the whole dream. Yeah, so at the beginning, yeah, so two daughter-in-laws, when driving on the bicycle, break the leg and smash the face, and then there were two cats was crying. So usually when cats meowing, she would not concerned about it. I'm sure that the sound was very scary, so that's why she felt that this is something not very good, but she couldn't read, she couldn't understand. And after a few days, when she was at the hometown, suddenly there was a bad news arrived. Her cousin, 49 years old, in order to avoid another car, fell into the river and got and died. Quite miserable. Yeah. So this death does it have anything to do with the cat? So Joy said, oh, I think the cat actually knew and come to tell her, but we don't know. But she just couldn't read. Yeah, so Grandmaster says, according to my experience, usually when they're coming to catch a soul, those black and white impermanence, or we call them like the messengers from hell, they would use a cat. And then at this time, the expression of the cat and the sound of the cat would be very miserable. But, this cat on the picture is very lovely. So when Cheng Chen saw the cat, it must be a very miserable expression and very scary, like a ghost. And that's they like to attach to a cat or a donkey or a crow or a bat, and then their expression would be very strange and their voice would be very strange. So that means they are the messenger, that they are coming to catch someone, catch a soul. And then her cousin had a sudden accident, and Cheng Cheng knew that, so she immediately made light offerings, because she cultivates, so she can feel this is not auspicious, but she didn't know what exactly would be the case. And so she also prayed Medicine Buddha to guide her cousin. And when she came back from the hometown, when she was resting in a dream, she saw a very chubby little boy kissed her on the face with a smile and then left happily. And so is the cousin already reincarnated, because this daughter-in-law of her second uncle delivered a little boy very similar to this boy in the dream. And so, yeah. So she was thinking, is this her cousin reincarnated into this boy? So Grandmaster said, this is possible. A lot of times, these reincarnations sometimes would mix up the generation. And sometimes a grandfather will become a grandson or a grandson. Yeah. And maybe grandmother becomes a granddaughter-in-law. After reincarnation, so these generations will be mixed up. Yeah, so it's not so the daughter-in-law of her third uncle, who just had a little boy, could be her cousin. One of the things that you can prove is that she dreamed of a little boy and kissed her on the face. So this kiss actually has a saying. So he's coming to thank her because she offered the light to help him to helped him to be rescued, and he came back. He didn't suffer in the hell, and he came back to the same family, and maybe he will go back and pull the corns again. A lot of times, human beings, when they lose something, they would really love that. Sometimes when they live somewhere for a long time, when they have to leave, they would be in tears. And some children, after they stay in a hotel for a week, and they would even cry after they leave the hotel. So if you stay somewhere for many years, then if you leave, then you would be sad. And that's why this cousin went back. And so in the Earth Store Sutra, after a baby was born, we need to read the sutra and do merit. So do not have a big banquet. In order to celebrate the baby's birth, I would promote, vegetarian banquet. Maybe you could invite someone to cook, or you could cook yourself. Yeah. Now people are not afraid of, they actually like vegetarian food. They're not craving for meat, and this is healthy. So do not kill. You have a new baby, do not cut like 10 ducks and 10 chickens. Not just Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are unhappy, even the earth deities are unhappy, and the animals who are killed will also be unhappy, and then all become the karmic creditor, and then they will the bad karma will come back to the little boy, a little baby. And so let's have vegetarian food to celebrate the birth. And we should also offer lights and chant and do merit, so that the child would be healthy and happy and grow very well. And in the future, they would be more likely to be a very good person. A lot of young people, they are not very, they do not grow very well. It's because of the merit. And so, do merits for the children so that they can grow healthily and become a good person is just as important as make merits for the seniors. And also at the beginning, the two daughter-in-laws had accidents when they were riding bicycles, right? So so these two daughter-in-laws had accidents, and so the daughter, the cousin died less than 50 years old. So this like a very short lifespan. This is a sudden death. And also the two daughter-in-laws had the accident, even though they didn't die, but they were injured. And one of them even, disfigured the face, and they all, so this is definitely a disaster with blood also. So when it's serious, it could. So it's not auspicious anyway. So usually, maybe because of merit, and also you need to adjust feng shui. And sometimes, their house and also their tomb might have some problem. So her uncle's tomb, family tomb may have some problem. Maybe they should check it. But it depends in which country. In some countries, in order to do construction, they remove all the cemeteries. So in that case, you don't have a way. And a lot of people, they couldn't even find their ancestors' tomb. They just know that this is the whole land. They know just roughly this land. And so, So definitely check your house feng shui and also the ancestor tombs feng shui. Maybe things hasn't finished yet. You need to continue to do merits and do virtuous deeds. And then you'll be able to avoid even worse things to happen and sudden calamity to happen. There's an evil chi in your family, and also maybe you can offer Buddha statues, images, and thangkas. In this class, Grandmaster introduced a lot of the, esoteric Buddhist statues and with the rightful expression. And so for a whole family, maybe you can purchase a big one or a very big Vajra peso, and minimum you should put at least one Buddhist Sutra or Earth Store Sutra in every room. Otherwise, there will be too much evil energy in the house. So Cheng Cheng, you need to cultivate well, and also you also need to listen to Grandmaster's guidance to try to remove the bad chi and dissolve those. Okay, let's also give Cheng Cheng a blessed bead. So Cheng Cheng, your story is interesting, even though quite scary. Everybody will still learn from the story. I'll give you this blessed bead. I wish you health, longevity, auspiciousness, and wish fulfillment, and solve the problems in your family earlier. Receive. Thank you, Grandmaster. And next sharing is from Sister Wendon from Baoling Meditation Center. So, Grandmaster, thank you for teaching us the Earth Store Sutra. Now I have a better understanding of how important it is to make merits for our ancestors and deceased relatives. I want to share the story of my stepmother with you. My stepmother passed away 1 year before came to Bodhi meditation. She passed away on September the 12th, 2015, which was also my lunar birthday. For the next 4 years, I always got sick before or after my birthday. I didn't know why. On my stepmother's 4th Memorial Day, I fell sick again. Shortly after, I met Grandmaster in the Charis Center in Malaysia. I silently prayed that Grandmaster would bless me and my stepmother in my mind. That year, my illness healed faster than ever. 1 week before my stepmother's 5th Memorial Day, I was chanting in the living room. That afternoon, she came into my husband's dream. My husband saw my stepmother waiting in a passenger lounge at a harbor. There was a girl sitting on her lap and crying. My stepmother tried to comfort the girl. When she saw my husband and I, she said she had a toothache and wanted to eat bean sprouts. And my husband immediately told her that you can take her to the restaurant. Then my husband realized because of the pandemic, each vehicle can only take 2 passengers. So my husband told my mom that he can take her there first. When my husband told me his dream, I thought maybe my stepmother was trying to be reborn and she needed help. So she said she had toothache. Then I offered a 3-day light for her at Bodhi Meditation Center, and I burned some offerings to her and also cooked the bean sprouts for her. After offering light and praying, I didn't got ill during her Memorial Day anymore. Recently, I dreamt of my stepmother twice. I dreamed of her dying. She died again in my dream. I saw there are a lot of red dates in her head. Actually, she passed away from a fatal fall. So, Grandmaster, could you please explain my dreams? What does the red dates mean? Has my stepmother been liberated? Thank you, Grandmaster. Yeah, dreams are really, so Amazing. So when she dreamed of her stepmother died in the dream and there are lots of red dates in her head, is it good? So Joy said, I think it's good because in the dream, if they died, deceased person die again, it's actually they are reincarnated, and red dates are quite auspicious. Is this something good? So Grandmaster says it depends on your feeling and your perception. So usually our impression of red dates are very positive. But the dates are in her head. It's not that good. My feeling, when I'm feeling this, I felt that their family member are more likely to have mental disorder. When they talked about bean sprouts and toothache, her mother actually urgently needed help. So when she dreamed of the red date, every day I feel differently. So at this moment, I don't feel very good. More likely to have mental problem. According to the sutra, she needs to do merits either both for her stepmother and also for herself. When you're only doing merits for others, you may also need to protect yourself and do merits for yourself, and maybe you also need to do merits for your children. Because you don't know where the disaster will be manifested. It depends on how many family members in your family. She didn't say that she has children, but in her husband's dream there was a little girl sitting on her mother's lap, and she didn't say what was in relationship of that girl. She was just describing the dream. So it was a crying girl. That dream was not very good and had toothache and wanted to eat something. So at the time she was waiting for judgment. It was at the harbor. She was still waiting. And there are also other souls waiting too. Yeah. So the crying girl must have something to do with her family, but already dead. So, Sister Wendun, you need to cultivate continuously and do merits for your mother. Maybe you would also do merits for your husband, yourself, your children. Yeah, think more. Sometimes it's like a riddle that you have to guess, and only when it happened then you know, oh, that's what it meant. And before it happens, you don't know. And you could only pray, and hopefully you will be protected and blessed, yeah, to avoid bad things to happen. So thank you, Grandmaster. So let's give her a blessed beat. Yeah. This is very pretty. It's like this, very beautiful. So wish you Wendun, I wish you your disasters will be eliminated and Buddha's Bodhisattva will bless you. So next sharing is from an online friend, Xiao Ye, Fight with the Ghost. Oh. So dear Grandmaster, my name is Xiao Ye. Since the beginning of the lunar July, my right eyelid twitches almost every day. On the 15th day of the lunar July, I had a dream in the morning. In the dream, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattva statues disappeared from my mom's meditation room, and I can only hear the sound of Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra playing. After this, my right eyelid started twitching again. So this is like the altar had no Buddha's Bodhisattva statue. In the last few days, I've offered 49-day soul salvation light for my parents' ancestors and their karmic creditors. I also offered light for my karmic creditors and dedicate the merits of gilding Earth Store Bodhisattva's golden body to my karmic creditors. During my nap after lunch, I had a dream. I went to an unfamiliar house in the dream. It felt as if I was waiting for my ex-husband to return. Suddenly, I heard a squeaking noise coming from the round dining table. In my dream, I know it's a ghost, but I cannot see it. Then the ghost went to the bathroom to throw things at me. Then he tried to spray water at me with the handheld shower, but his attack didn't touch me at all. Then I fought back. The ghost also tried to sexually assault me, but I fought him. Then I got angry. I grabbed a broom and waved it. Standing on the dining table, I struck the broom everywhere. Then the squeaking noise stopped and I woke up. Then when I woke up, my right eyelid was still twitching. I've been chanting Guru Rinpoche's heart mantra, reading the Earth Store Sutra and Earth Store Bodhisattva's heart mantra for the past few days. Master, please guide me. What does these dreams mean? What should I do? So neither of these dreams are good, and especially in her mother's altar, there was no Buddha's Bodhisattva's image. So this doesn't feel good. Yeah, Buddha's Bodhisattva's image and statues are protecting us and blessing us. And also in the lunar July, her right eyelid is always twitching. Usually Chinese people say the left eyelid twitching is good and right is not good. And so Grandmaster said, yeah, in a dream it wasn't good. And also in her dream, she was fighting with the ghost, and they were throwing things, and they were also using the shower. And luckily that the water hasn't sprayed on her, and she was fighting. Yeah, she was fighting back, and she used a broom to conquer the ghost. And so this month didn't pass very easily, Grandmaster said. The first dream, Grandmaster says, in the meditation room on the altar, there was no Buddha's and Bodhisattva's image. So maybe because too much resentment, and so the positive energy cannot handle it. And so in her home, there's no really powerful positive energy. So there are lack of positive energy. So the karmic creditors appeared. When the positive energy is weak, the evil energy will appear more clearly, because the positive energy cannot cover it or conquer it. And the second dream, she was fighting with the ghost. It's the same problem. Fight with the ghost, it actually makes you very tiring. And some would say this is only in the dream, but after you fought with the ghost, you would be very exhausted and you would feel very uncomfortable. So is it a real fight or a fake fight? Usually after the dream, you could be very exhausted and could be very weak. And after you wake up, you would be very tired. And even the whole day or the following 3 days would be very exhausted. These are not very good. You must have really fought with the ghost. So this is not a good thing, because your energy is low. That's how you can fight with the ghost. And after the fight, it actually exhausted your young energy. So 2 dreams. One of them is your family's positive energy is very low. And secondly, your own positive energy is not enough. So you really need very powerful, blessed gifts. And also you probably in your family, and also you should wear something, some blessed gifts, so that you can dispel evil spirit. Yeah. What do you think, Grandmaster said? Yeah. So Grandmaster, can you recommend something for her, especially would be effective for her in this case? You know, to make our house safe in order to help our online friends. We actually have already introduced many of them on the, like for 2 dimensions, we have the Mahakala's image, even though it's a copied one, but I believe that the energy is still there. And also last year we had the Earth Store Bodhisattva's Tanka, and it's from the Ming Dynasty. And we also have the Mahakala's statue and Guru Rinpoche's statue. And these are all very good. And also Yama, King Yama's statue, and Yami's statue. And also, yeah, so all of these Tibetan, yeah, so these Buddhas, Bodhisattvas who are very, very powerful and very fierce, Buddha's Bodhisattva statue is for our sentient beings to conquer the evil spirit and demons. At the beginning, they were trying to help the cultivators to acquire higher dharma power for their practice. And then we also noticed that for ordinary people, for ordinary offers, it will have a very good protection. So if you have these important blessed like these statues or blessed gifts, then some people, they even have very good fortune. Then if you don't wear some blessed gifts, sometimes when your energy is very low, and if the resentment is high, when ghosts would like to you know, they want to attack you, some people, they have low energy, and then the evil energy will attack them. So you really need those. So Joyce, as a lady, if you have to walk at night, so if you walk like 10 kilometers to school, and if you have to go there, would you bring something? At least you will bring a stick to self-defend, right? And maybe some pepper, right? And maybe some whips or some some knives or some sticks. You might need to bring something to protect yourself, right? So maybe when we're talking here, you think I'm joking, but 100 years ago, or even 50 or 60 years ago, it would be all like that. And so Joyce said, when I go to elementary school, I have to go pass through a forest. Did you meet some bad person? Oh, luckily I didn't. Yeah, I just saw some. I just saw some worms on the ground. I was so scared. I had to dance ballet. Yeah. Yeah. So usually. Yeah, usually the kids will walk together, and then we also need to pass the train track, and so parents would remind us many times to look carefully. Yeah, and some. Yeah, some people, even when they look very strong, the ghost would know that your energy is low, then they would occupy your body, and then they will attach to that person. That sounds very scary, but that did happen. So you need to have some blessed gifts that minimum, you should have even just a wooden one, like a wooden fir bar or a Vajra pestle. Yeah. We have the wooden ones and we also have the copper ones. Because the fir bars, there was a saying about it. It was a weapon for some heavenly beings in a certain heavenly realm to avoid evil spirit and evil evil energy. And so if you need it, you can purchase it. I think that we still have some on the North American 慈悲音, and also they have some statues or pictures with wrathful expression. In the Taiwan Spain, they have some smaller Vajra pestles and fir bars. We'd like to remind our online friends today is the last day that if you purchase over $500 US, then you would enjoy free shipping. So free shipping on orders about $500 US. So this is the last day. So if you need something heavy, then especially, or something to protect you, this is the best time to purchase. And these beads, I have already empowered. You already seen that some very special herbs and medicines, I make them into powders and mix them into this material. And then I made the bead and then I blessed it. I was hoping the medicine inside, don't eat it, okay? So this is for you to avoid evil. Yeah, to avoid spells. Yeah, so this helps to avoid spells, and the blessing also helps to avoid ghosts and evil spirit or demons. So like Xiao Ye, who fought with the ghosts, would it help? I would say, Grandmaster say, I would say possibly, because there are all kinds of evil energy and you have also many different constitutions. I don't know which one would be most effective, but I will gift you a bead. Maybe the bead will help you. Thank you, Grandmaster. So wish Xiao Ye very healthy and live long, would be auspicious and wish fulfillment. So the these evil energy will not come close. Thank you, Grandmaster. Xiaoxi's mother shared, she's from Los Angeles. Hello, Grandmaster. I heard you sharing, teaching Earth Store Sutra, and a lot of people sharing their experience, and I realized that I'm not the most miserable, and my child Xiaoxi is also not suffering the most, and he has a mental disease, and he always hears somebody talking to him. It's not someone that normal people can see. He always sees something or hears something, and he's almost going to be killed by them. Very scary. And I usually would see that he would yell at the air, and his face would become very angry and very fierce. And I know that he's sick again. I will remind him to take medicine. He actually, his grandfather sold drugs before. Maybe the bad karma is passed down to him. He started the illness starting at 26 years old. It's already he said even in his childhood he wanted to commit suicide, and it's already 10 years, and he only believed Western doctors, and none of the he changed many medicines and it didn't work. I tried to use Buddhist teachings to help him, but he didn't listen. When I was doing healings for him, his head and his scalp would have a kind of pattern like walnuts. I don't know if it's an expression of manifestation of of bad karma? I asked the psychic, and he said it's karmic creditors. And after a certain time, the karmic creditors will leave. And Grandmaster told him to do energy bagua and also do volunteering at the center. He only did 1 month cleaning and stopped practicing energy bagua. Until now, I'm really worried because of the all the pressures. His father didn't want to live with him, didn't want to talk to him, and send him out of the house. When he was 16, he had such a bad relationship with his father that social workers had to take him away until 22 years old he was. And now only me and my current husband are willing to live with him. It sounds easy, but only people who have experienced this will know how difficult it is. He had a lot of bad karma, very difficult to teach. And my guidance he would ignore or talk back, and so our relationship also become very bad. And now I realize I also need to look after myself. I need to diligently practice, and so I can have wisdom to face this problem. I hoped I would chant more and accumulate more merits, and so that he would start to learn Buddha Dharma. I pray that Grandmaster would bless Xiaoxi, and whether it's mental disease or karmic creditors coming to demand repayment of the debt, so that he can be escaped from those obstacles. Yeah, so from his childhood, he can see something and a certain kind of life, and he would even yell at the air, and he even had wanted to commit suicide when he was a little kid. So Grandmaster said in his circumstances he couldn't normally read or work, and he couldn't even normally deal with the family, and so he couldn't even look after himself, let alone serve the society. And also the mother told us that his father sold drugs before. I want to ask, I know that in the movie I saw that the drug dealers, it was like over 20 years ago, I watched a Hong Kong movie. They sell a bag of heroin, those gangs in Vietnam, and then the Hong Kong people say, oh, this is the first time, let me see if it is real or not. And then they took out some heroin and say, if you dare to mix some fake ones, then how dare you? And so they need to taste it. So these drug dealers, definitely they will need to use the drugs. And so Grandmaster says, I'm thinking whether his grandfather or grandmother, these drug users, when they have children, will the children be affected? Yeah, let's say for example, one of the parents take drugs. Would it affect the fetus? Yeah, so when we saw Zhen says, yeah, especially if the mother take drugs when she's pregnant, then it could have the birth defect, or maybe will be aborted or deliver early, or maybe they will be born very lightweight, and maybe they have heart disease or other disease, and they could even have mental disorder, or maybe they would be blind or deaf, or they couldn't walk, or maybe their limbs are not growing very well, or their organs are not growing very well. All kinds of terrifying diseases are waiting for this mother. So very, very horrifying. And even if they have a complete body, maybe they would have learning disorder or something. And even a healthy child, even a healthy person, they'll say, oh, do you smoke or do you drink alcohol? And you need to stop those, and you need to do exercise, you need to be happy. And then when you get pregnant, then this child would be healthy, right? Yeah. Even if you don't have all of these diseases, all of those bad habits, the child is not guaranteed to be fully healthy, right? The more drug you take, the less healthy they could be. So Xiaoxi is already a victim, and what a pity. That's his grandfather did the bad things. So the bad karma really passed down. Not just the bad karma, but the genes. Yeah, because grandfather take drugs, and so the child has this problem. And also the karma from selling drugs, this bad karma, yeah, is bad karma plus bad karma. So it would be a lot of offenses. So if it's showing as Xiaoxi's case, it's already good. So it's really, yeah, Xiaoxi's mom would be very difficult. Yeah, it's quite terrifying. So when you do things, that's why Buddha told us not to do something that's obviously harmful. Yeah, so in today's society, yeah, we tell everybody not to steal, not to kill, not to gamble, not to addicted to alcohol, better not smoke. So all of these bad habits, none of them are good for your health, and each of them will harm the family, not just for your own health, but also will harm your future generations, like Xiaoxi. So this child is ignorant because he hasn't been doing anything wrong, but he's bearing the bad karma, and his mother is also suffering. So one generation do something wrong, it can harm many generations. Yeah, so it can harm the whole family. It's very terrible. Don't do that. And so in Xiaoxi's situation, mom is very worried and mama is normal because mom is from another family. Yeah, the mother also realized that, yeah, before she was focusing on the child all the time, and now she realized that she needs to look after herself too. Otherwise, she would be really depleted. So when mom realized that, it must mean that Xiaoxi has already made the mother so exhausted, and yeah, so that's how the mother would have to protect herself. And that's why I asked Xiaoxi to go to the center to do some volunteering. If you don't know how to do others, at least do some cleaning. Yeah, so you can accumulate some merits, and with the Buddha light, then this change could be at least 10%. So you need to find every way to do it. And actually, our center has some responsibility. If we allow him to come to volunteer, maybe we'll have to take a lot of responsibilities. We took the responsibility just to give him an opportunity to do it. So Xiaoxi, if you can have the opportunity to volunteer, this is your fortune. If you can do a small contribution in the Buddhist center, then maybe Buddha's Bodhisattva will allow you to liberate. And so Xiaoxi's mom wanted to guide him through master's teachings and guidance. Maybe the mother's teaching, you cannot just teach him the sutra, right? And you only say, yeah, maybe you need to sort of say, oh, like playfully, maybe do the things together. and then the child would feel some kind of accomplishment and happy. So the mother and also the center needs to be very, very compassionate. That's why I introduce him to the center. We need to have exceptional patience so that the child would be willing to come. And some seniors, I also invite them to come and volunteer at the center. Do we need a senior to come and work? No, we're just trying to give them an opportunity. My car has been washed many times a day, so it's just hoping that you can have some merit. So actually, I tried many different ways. And Xiaoxi's mom needs to be very patient and use skillful means. And also, our staff and volunteers at the center also need to help him. So our goal is to save him. So I'll give a bead for Xiaoxi and also for Xiaoxi's mother. Thank you.
We made a mold, and look at here. This one is a tiger's hide. It's a tiger's head, and this one is for Xiaoxi, and the red bead is for Xiaoxi's mother. Look, they're both red. I wish Xiaoxi and his mother good health and happiness. May you get well soon. Master, there is another sharing from Singapore. This is Quan Han's story. Dear Master, my parents didn't have a good relationship since I was young. My dad was a gambler and didn't take care of our home. He didn't have a job and always asked my mom for money. One day, a loan shark came to find my dad and vandalize our home. I have a brother who is 8 years older than me. He didn't play with me and bullied me. My dad bullied my mom. When she didn't give him money, he would swear and throw things at her. At this time, my mom would put me away in my room and close the door. One night, my dad even took a knife slashing things in the kitchen. I was frightened. When my parents divorced when I was 17 years old. And since then, I always had a stick by my bedside so I can protect my mom if anything happened. After my parents got divorced when I was 17, I thought we would finally have a peaceful life. However, when I was 26 years old, my brother was diagnosed with nose cancer. Our life changed again. After he had chemotherapy and recovered after 2 years. And then a few years after that, the medication side effects caused him to lose function of his left eye, left ear, and nose, and he can no longer work. When I was 29 years old, my brother received a call. He was informed that our dad had passed away. We found out that my dad got into a fight after drinking, and he was sued, so he chose suicide in the end. I remember my mom had told me before that my grandpa died by suicide too. I haven't seen my dad since my parents divorced when I was 17 years old. 4 years after my dad passed away, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. She passed away after fighting the cancer for 2 years. I was naughty when I was small and disobedient during adolescence. I was gambling, smoking, and came home late at night. I was also angry at my mom. It brought her many worries and afflictions, but my mom never gave up on me. She advised me continuously. She always tells me that I don't need you to have a good grade or have good achievements. I just want you to be sensible, compassionate, and kind. Don't be a person like watery mud. I remember her words clearly. My mom was a Buddhist, and she had a vegetarian diet. She always inspired me and educated me with Buddha Dharma. She never beat her children to make us listen, so I respected my mom. She often took us to Buddhist temples and taught me to chant mantras. I started to have a vegetarian diet since I was 30 years old. I'm really grateful to have this chance to get a connection with Buddha Dharma. Otherwise, I don't know how I can endure my mom's passing. Since my mom became ill, I took the responsibility to take care of my brother. He had severe hepatitis in 2018. He was intubated in the ICU. One night, the doctor declared he might not make it. But after offered light at Bodhi meditation and chanting for my brother suddenly got well. I'm so grateful for Master, Buddha, and Bodhisattva's blessings that he was able to come through. After my brother was released from hospital, he changed completely. He started to cheat money from his friends, telling them he needed money to buy groceries and necessities. But it's not true. I have been living with my brother. I only moved out this year because I couldn't stand him any longer. My brother had seizures frequently, which also gave me anxiety and heartburn. I often have headaches, stomachaches, and anxiety. It affected my daily life and work. Since I learned Buddhism, I've been making merits and virtues. Especially after my mom passed away, I've been doing kind deeds to my best ability. I sponsor masters online in behalf of my ancestors, my father and my mom. Master, my brother will be living by himself. Would he follow my grandpa and my father's footsteps? Master, please teach me what to do. Thank you, Master. So the last sharing was from Xiaoxi's mom. Xiaoxi's grandpa was a drug dealer and Xiaoxi had a bad life. And for this sharing, this person's dad was a gambler and his family is so sad. His family has many disasters. His grandpa and father both committed suicide, and his brother was young and had nose cancer and lost function of the left side of his face. And he had hepatitis and almost passed away from that. And he also had epilepsy. So he has so many illnesses. So what is behind all this? And after he was discharged from hospital, he cheated money of his friends and lied. What should he do? So Quanhan is very sad, and Quanhan finally moved away from her brother. Her brother wasn't on the right path, although he is ill and it's pitiful. And he is still sick. He has nose cancer. And then he cheated other people. He borrowed money and then he gambled with that money. Is it genetics too? Maybe it is genetics, but it could also be his karma. I think it's both of these issues. Also, the sister is very afraid, that her brother is going to commit suicide like her father and grandfather. We can't say what will happen, but it is a real worry. Gambling and drug addiction are very bad. Once you get started, it's hard to stop. And also, when you get into these things, you deceive your family members. When he got the money, when he borrowed money from other people, he doesn't take the money, he gives the money to other people. And one day, if he gambles and wins something, he would spend the money eating and drinking, and he wouldn't return that money. It is very difficult to rescue. Master said, I have met similar people when I was young. There was a young man who was our neighbor. He cheated money from my father. Our life was very poor when I was young. And he told us that he wanted to borrow money to buy his mom medication. And when we give him money, he took that money and used it to gamble. So they're not good people. Why would you help such a person? When you help them, you are helping them to go into hell. So don't help these people. Don't help people who are gambling or doing drugs. Don't give them money. If you lend them money, they cannot return anything to you. If they are hungry, buy them a hamburger. Don't give them money directly. In Vancouver, you see many people like this. They will say, they will ask you for money, and if you give them things, they wouldn't want it. And if you want to give them food, they will pick and choose. I don't want this, I want that. And in the end, they just want some cash. And you see these young men, they would sit on the street and try to get money. And if they can't get money, they will try to find a dog. And so if a person truly needs help, you can help them. But some people, they don't really need this help. If you do give them help, you're helping them to go to hell. And Quan Han, you did the right thing to move away from your brother. And in some families, one sibling is like the Buddha and the other sibling is evil. And for Quan Han, this is, you have to be a good person and cultivate your health. You cannot help your brother anymore. He is ill, have epilepsy, and when his mind is clear, he cheats other people, get money from other people. He's not a brother to you. He's like a demon. What can you do with a demon? So you have to take care of yourself, move out and self-cultivate, be a good person yourself, because there are so many karmas in your family. You see what happens, so you have to cultivate your life to have a normal life. You are a children of that family and you share that karmic effect as well, so you have to be careful too. Master, give her a bead and protect her. And I will also give a bead to her brother. Although I said that, but I really want to help her brother, and I hope I can help him. Quan Han will get everything all right, and I hope Quan Han's brother will not gamble anymore and will live and make a living himself. And I hope you can think through and be a good person. Look what happened in your family. May Buddha's light protect you and your brother. May everything be auspicious. All right, let's listen to a happy story. This is Lai Mao from Malaysia. Dear Master, my name is Lai Mao. I'm from Kelang Meditation Center in Kuala Lumpur. I have a friend who lives in northern Malaysia. 2 weeks ago, he dreamed that he was chased by 3 bad guys, and he was captured by one of the bad guys. And when the bad guy tried to kill him with a knife, he woke up frightened. And when he went back to sleep, the exact dream replayed again. This time, when the knife came down, he thought of me, and the dream suddenly disappeared. So the nightmare stopped. I think it's because I taught him energy bagua and reminded him to practice continuously. Maybe he thought of me at the time of crisis because he knew I learned Master's Dharma and I can help him. So I guided him to make light offerings for his ancestors, enemies from the past lives, karmic creditors, as well as making many donations and offerings. Master, what does his dream mean? And also, did I guide him correctly? Master, please give me guidance. And there is another sharing about light offering. My friend, another friend, has a small house that has been empty for 4 years. He lowered the price trying to sell the house, but he just couldn't. And in May this year, I suggest him to make a 7-day light offering. And so this is to make the light offering to the previous house's owner, or maybe the earth deity. Anyways, he made a 7-day light offering, and on the 6th day, the miracle happened. The real estate agent showed the house to a Malay buyer. The buyer loved it instantly and paid a deposit. Actually, it's not easy for a Malay to buy a Chinese house. And what's more surprising is that the sale price was $20,000 more than the neighbor's price. 3 months later, the buyer got a mortgage from the bank. My friend is very grateful to Master, so he started learning Master's life philosophy, Buddhism, and teachings online. Thank you, Master. This is a very happy story, so it's 2 sharings. The first is about a nightmare. His friend had a nightmare where he was about to be knifed by a bad guy, and the friend thought about Lai Mao, who shared the story, and then the nightmare stopped. And Lai Mao thinks that it's because he is Master's disciple and he has positive energy from Master. All our Bodhi meditation practitioners have a compassionate and kind mind, and they practice diligently. So everyone has a strong energy and they have merits and virtues. So if you practice diligently, then you will not run into evil energies. And if other people comes to you for help, your merits and virtues and your energy can help them to eliminate some of these bad issues. And so Lai Mao wants to ask that, what does this dream mean? If we just talk about this dream, there could be many meanings. So who is chasing him? He just shared that it's 3 bad guys. And it's interesting that he was woken up from the dream once, and when he slept again, this dream replayed it. And Lai Mao guided his friend to make light offerings to his ancestors and karmic creditors. Usually, it's karmic creditors. There is no love or hate for no reason. So in such a situation, if your friend has one of the wistful expression statues at home, then you might not have such a nightmare. And if there is a large purba at home, your karmic creditors can't even go near you. With that protection, your home, your land will be illuminated by Buddha light, and evil energies cannot come near you. Anyone can have nightmares, and it doesn't mean that every nightmare will have the exact meaning. But if you have the dream repeatedly or continuously, then there could be some meanings behind it. His dream is okay, but because he got help in the end. And in the second story, he also helped his friend to sell his real estate property after 4 years. And the house was sold for a good price too. And this is good fortune. So make more merits and virtues. And so in the end, his friend came to listen to Master's teachings online because his friend now knows that it works. So everyone understands the stories. Should we give him a bead too? A bead for 来梦. And also your friend who had the dreams. How many friends? There's one friend who had a dream, another friend who sold a house. So one for each person, 3 beads altogether. 来梦 and 2 of your friends. I wish you health and longevity, happiness and auspiciousness. I think all 3 of them are watching our live stream right now, and they are probably smiling. Master, there's another sharing from Xiaolan. Dear Master, I am writing to you for the first time. I am extremely excited and I don't know where to start. I am grateful for Master and Bodhidharma because you have changed my life. You have given me a new life. I had a connection with Bodhi when I was young. I was born in the 1980s in Hebei province. My family attended Master's classes in the 1990s. I practiced meditation along with my mom and other family relatives. I was young at the time and just followed suit. I didn't understand the meaning and didn't practice diligently. Now I understand that Master has planted a seed in me. I went to university in 2003. It was significant because I was the first person in my family to be accepted into a prestigious university. However, soon after the school started, the school gave everyone a health checkup, and I was diagnosed with tuberculosis. It was shock. I was stunned. I didn't have any signs or symptoms of TB. I couldn't give up, so I went for checkups at several large hospitals. The result was the same. The X-ray showed a 1 centimeter big cavity on my lung. I took a break from university and started treatment at home. My home is in a small rural village that is not fully developed. Because TB is a contagious disease, my family worried that rumors might spread around the village and affect my marriage in the future. At that time, my aunt said that I can stay with her and practice meditation for 7 days. I went home after 7 days of meditation. Then I went back home. I tried the medication, but it made me vomit, so I secretly threw the pills away. When I went back for another checkup, the hospital couldn't find any cavity in my lungs. The doctor said there was no sign of TB. The doctor refused to give me a certificate of TB recovery because he insisted I never had TB. He said my lungs are in perfect condition and didn't have calcification, which is the evidence of a TB recovery. After finishing graduate school, I found a good job and met my husband. We have 2 beautiful daughters. We started an environmental consulting firm. After business was hard, but we are full of hope. We're extremely grateful for all the blessings from Master. For many reasons, I lost contact with Master until April this year. When my friend inspired me to learn the Earth Store Sutra, I thought it would be great if I can hear Master's teachings. I had heard Master's teachings when I was young. Your teachings were to the point and easy to understand. My wish came true. Near the end of April, I was lucky to receive a link to download the Grandmaster app. I was extremely happy to hear Master's voice again. This happiness joy is incomparable. Since then, I started learning with Master on my phone. I watched almost every live stream. Even if I didn't watch one live stream, because of my job, I would learn it again. I attended many online classes, and I offered lights for my mom, my husband, my daughters, and my family relatives. Before and also after learning Master's teachings, I helped my friend. I have a friend who is an ordained nun. Both of her parents passed away within half a year, and they were not even 70 years old. She couldn't accept their deaths because she felt that she had cultivated diligently and made so many merits for her parents, but the end was not good enough. When she called me in the middle of the night, I remember Master's teaching. Sometimes it's because heavy karmic effects from our ancestors that pass on to ourselves and our descendants. There are also karma from our past lives. I talked to her for a long time, telling her about Master's teachings and my understandings. Afterwards, she said that I had a much better understanding than she did. She wondered how she, who is a full-time ordained nun, didn't learn the sutra as well as a lay devotee, which was me. I thought it's because I have the best master. I'm very proud. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Bodhisattva, for giving me a happy life. So this is a very young Bodhi practitioner. She started when she was young, and she was the first in her family to make it into a prestigious Chinese university. But unfortunately, she was diagnosed with TB, and TB is a contagious disease, and it will affect her future. But after she meditated for 7 days, the sign of TB is gone. Usually, people who recover from TB will have a calcification point remaining in their lungs, and so she got well so perfectly that her doctor said that she never had TB at all. And previously, she went to many hospitals and she was confirmed that she had TB. And so after this 7-day meditation, her TB just disappeared. And also, another sharing is that she taught and eliminated affliction for her ordained friend. And her ordained friend said that she didn't learn as well as a lay devotee who's the Xiaolan who shared the story. Everyone can understand my teachings. When I teach you Buddha Dharma and how to be a good person, you can only learn it when you can understand it. So if you want to truly learn it, you have to be able to comprehend it. And after you learned it, you can put it into practice. We all learned it. Thank you, Master. And we can help other people. Lai Mao can help his friend too. And he can help other people to explain their dreams. Let's give Xiaolan a bead. I'll give you 2 beads. All right, 2 beads for Xiaolan. I wish you auspiciousness, good health and longevity. May your family be harmonious and happy. Master, there is another sharing from Xuan Xuan. Xuan Xuan said, Dear Master, I bought the Suanni incense burner. A fellow practitioner's daughter wants to have another child. However, she couldn't get pregnant for over a year. She told me that her daughter had irregular menstrual cycle. I saw she needed the treasure more than me, so I resold the incense burner to her, and she gifted it to her daughter. Amazingly, after her daughter received the incense burner, she had normal menstruation cycle. Soon after, she was pregnant. When Master blessed the incense burner, Master said that, may the family who receives the incense burner be harmonious, have many children and grandchildren, accumulate wealth, and etc. Thank you, Master, for blessing compassion and great love. Thank you for fulfilling the sentient being's wishes. Recently, I purchased 2 more incense burners and other Dharma treasures. After receiving the incense burners, my extremely introvert son found a girlfriend. I'm so happy. Thank you for Master's compassionate vow and illuminating everyone with Buddha light. This is such a happy sharing. So Xuan Xuan is very kind. She really likes the incense burner, but when she saw that other people needed more, she resold it to them. Some treasures are very rare and you can't buy it with money, but sometimes I have these. And it really works. And so the daughter couldn't get pregnant for over a year. And once she received the incense burner, she quickly got pregnant. Is it a coincidence? And also Xuan Xuan, who resold the incense burner to her, was also very kind too. And then she purchase more incense burners for herself, for her son. And her son, who was an introvert and didn't want to socialize, quickly found a girlfriend. So what does incense burner do? It makes your family more prosperous, whether it's your career, business, or descendants. It makes more of it. So let's give Xuan Xuan a bead. I need to give her 3. She helped another practitioner's doctor, and also her son. I'll give her 6, and she can give it to whoever she wants to, and also her son's girlfriend and her future parent-in-law. So Xuan Xuan can give the beads to more friends. Many people need these treasures and blessed items in the world. Any more stories? Next one is from Malaysia, Fang Chan's sharing. Dear Master, my mother Fang Xi went to China in 2015. She went to an ancestral temple to pay respect to her deceased relatives. When she was there, she felt very cold. After a few days, she started to feel unwell. When she came back to our home in Malaysia, she always felt cold and had been shivering violently. Her eyes are always staring at people. And she had a very dull complexion too. My sister-in-law showed my mom's photo to a lama she knew. The lama said there was evil energy in my mom, but the lama couldn't help my mom and she was still uncomfortable. In Malaysia, whenever we ran into difficult or bad situations, we would pray to the deities. When we prayed to the deity, we were told that many evil ghosts had possessed my mom. When my mom went to pray to the deity, she would get better for a short time. Then it became bad again. We saw there was no solution. We came to Bodhi meditation in 2019. My mom registered for a chanting class, but she fainted and couldn't come to the class. Luckily, there was a one-day meditation event. My mom was actually very uncomfortable. Her hands and feet were chilly and stiff, but she was determined to attend the one-day meditation class. In the class, students received energy healing, and after that, my mom's whole body warmed up. Then my mom practiced the meditation of greater illumination at home every day, and she also followed Master to chant online and attend a group practice online. Gradually, she's getting better every day. Before she couldn't walk energy bagua, but as she grew stronger, she can walk energy bagua too. One day, my mom watched Master's online live stream for spirit grounding. My mom felt something came out of her body. It seemed to be the spirits of 2 Hakka people. We are Hakkas. My mom visited the Hakka village in China. After these 2 Hakka spirits came out, my mom was relaxed. Her complexion was brighter too. There are another thing. Back then, my mom was not only affected by the evil energies. In 2019, after my brother-in-law passed away, she saw his spirits at home. After she started daily meditation, she never saw his spirits again. Thank you, Master. So when her mom went to pay respect to her ancestors, she brought her ancestors' ghosts back to Malaysia. So she was paying respect to her ancestors, but the ancestors came back with her and caused unrest in her family. This is very weird, but it doesn't matter. Even though it's weird, Master has solutions. Master has spirit grounding energy healings. And after she heard this music, the 2 spirits came out. Actually, the spirits was lost. It's 2 of them who went into her body and took a trip in Malaysia. It's a free tour of Malaysia. And then they were sent back to their home village. When I give them the spirit grounding, I send those two ghosts back and put her own spirit back. And she went back to China to pay respect to her ancestor in 2015, and those spirits were only left in 2019. Not everyone knows how to do spirit grounding. She asked for help from Lama and other temples, and she didn't receive. Nobody could help her. And finally, after she found Master, Master was able to get rid of those spirits for her. When Master gives the spirit grounding energy healing online, many people benefited. Because when you lose one of your spirits, it's difficult to tell and nobody can treat it. There is a high percentage of people who lost their spirit. It's similar to losing money. Sometimes when you're not careful, your spirit will wander away and go lost at some places. And if you don't recover your spirit and ground them back into your body, it's like you're absent-minded and you feel tired all the time. You don't have energy. But once your lost spirit is grounded back into your body, you are completely different. You have energy again and your eyes are bright again. After you lose your spirit, there's many signs. Some are very scary. Some people might even kill other people after they lose their spirit. And in severe cases, such people might even die themselves. So spirit grounding energy healing is very important and very there are many people who need spirit grounding. This year, I remember at the beginning of this year, during the Qingming festival, Master helped many people to have spirit grounding and help people's souls in many ways. I'm very thankful to Master's compassion. Our online friends are very lucky. Master has made the online spirit grounding energy healing into a video, and it's now available at www.puticollege.com. It's called Spirit Grounding Energy Healing. And if you go on to www.puticollege.com, just go to Learning Materials. And the first one you see is Energy Blessing for Spirit Grounding. And I have to remind everyone that you can only watch it if you need it. And look at the description on the below. If you have these signs or symptoms, then it's likely that your spirit is lost. And so look at these descriptions. And this blessing is not free. There's a charge for it. And it's charged because of Master's compassion. After you pay for it, you will be able to listen to it with your full attention for one time. If you don't listen to it sincerely, then it wouldn't work. And if you need it, then if you want to listen to it again, then you can come back to listen to it again after 45 days. You cannot listen to this spirit grounding energy blessing twice in 45 days. So after you make the purchase, you can only view this once. So energy blessing for spirit grounding is now available. And if you really need it, just come to puticollege.com. We don't want to make money from you. It's because we don't want you to watch it repeatedly. It might not be the best for you to watch it multiple times. And so only watch it when you need it. And if you do need to watch it twice, then you need to pay again after 45 days. Master, there's another sharing from Los Angeles. This is from Kunkai. Dear Master, my name is Kun Kai and I'm from Los Angeles, the United States. I have benefited tremendously from Master's class of sincerely learning the Earth Store Sutra. My father passed away a few years ago. Back then, I offered a 49-day soul salvation light and read the Medicine Buddha Sutra for my father for 45 days. I remember dreaming of my father a few days later. He was relaxed and energetic. He walked toward me with a smile in the sunshine. At the time, I felt my father was happy to bid farewell with me. 1 to 2 weeks before this online class, I dreamed of my father again. In the dream, he had poor health and it was dark around him. I started thinking maybe he had fell into an evil realm again. So I quickly offered light and made merits for my father. I learned in this class that we have to make merits for our ancestors and relatives continuously. First, it helps them not to fall into an evil realm. Secondly, we can pay respect and be filial to our ancestors. Most importantly, when our ancestors or parents are suffering in hell, we, the descendants, cannot attain true happiness in our lifetime. I am inspired by Master's guidance on the degree of offering and aspirations. For example, the Brahmin woman and the woman named Bright Eyes, they made different offerings and their relatives received different liberation. If we were reading by ourselves, we wouldn't have comprehended such a difference. But Master pointed out in the teaching. With a great offering and a great aspiration, our relatives can rise up into the world of ultimate bliss. With smaller offerings and aspirations, our relatives, deceased relatives, can be reborn to a kind place. But after some time, they might fall into a lower realm again and suffer more torments. These details are important and difficult to comprehend. Thank you for Master's guidance. Another inspiration came when Master taught us how to make dedication of merits and what's the meaning of such dedications. Through Master's explanation, I finally understand that dedication is not something we say. Buddha was using dedication to teach us how to aspire our bodhicitta. Dedicating the merits and virtues to our relatives are not enough. We need to dedicate it to all sentient beings in the Dharma realm and the entire universe. If we have this state of mind every day, how can we not enlighten? What Master taught us is helpful for our self-cultivation. It's so beneficial to follow Master and learn true comprehension. I'm respectful and grateful for Master's precious teachings. So Kun Kai benefited a lot, and he had many comprehensions during this class. At the beginning, when his father passed away, he thought his father went to a good place. And in the recent dream, when he dreamed of his father in not such a good place, he immediately made merits because he knew that big offerings leads to grand liberation. Master says this is the right understanding. If somebody passed away and you offered 3 incense sticks and 3 apples, would you be able to rescue that person from the hell? Especially when you have a lot of money and you live in big houses and drive a sports car. And if you only offer 3 incense sticks, nobody will help you because it cannot show your sincerity. Buddha educates everyone on a very high state. First, he wants you to have a kind heart, and then after you understand kindness, he wants you to be able to put it into real action. And from liking kindness to becoming a kind person yourself, during this process, you need to put it into practice to have deep comprehension to benefit yourself. He also talked about dedication in his sharing. When people make dedications, people are just reading it or speaking about it. But Master said that dedication is aspiring true bodhicitta, and it's benefiting the whole Dharma realm, the universe, and it's not to benefit yourself. Master says this is a difference between Buddha and sentient beings. Buddhas use all sorts of Buddha or people with great kindness do things to benefit other people, but mundane human beings do things to benefit themselves, and that's the difference between Buddha and humans. And so Kun Kai has a great understanding, and I think Kun Kai's understanding is representative of many online friends. All right. Since Kun Kai has a very good comprehension, I'll give this bead to you. He is from Los Angeles Center, right? Just like what we have done previously, we will also give 3 beads to the Los Angeles Bodhi Meditation Center. All right. So of these 3 are for the Los Angeles Bodhi Meditation Center. I wish everyone who can wear the bead, may all your wishes be fulfilled. May you be auspicious. Live to 100 years old. Master, shall we give a bead for Fang Chan? She shared about spirit grounding. All right, let's give 2 beads for Fang Chan. Where did she come from? She came from Ipal Bodhi Meditation Center in Malaysia. I'll also give 3 to Ipal Meditation Center. I wish Fang Chan and practitioners from Ipal Bodhi Meditation Center who wear the bead, may you live to 100 years old and have auspiciousness. Today is the completion date of our auspicious class. And in Vancouver, right now it's just after 8 p.m. in Vancouver. And after this class completes, I will help you. I will help you to fulfill your wishes. I will help you to help your karmic creditors, soothe them, and send them away, send them to a good place, guide them to the heaven realm, guide them to the Eastern Pure Land, the Western Pure Land, or a good family in the human world. And may Buddha and Bodhisattva give blessings to fulfill everyone's wishes. We will do it with our best wishes, and we will also burn joss paper and many other offerings for them. In today's live stream, many people have been listening to our Earth Store Sutra, and they already know how to achieve liberation, and that is to make offerings to accumulate merits and virtues. When you have merits and virtues, when you have a good foundation of it, then your house will be stable for thousands and millions of years. Without a good foundation, the house, even though if it's a single level house, it will be destroyed in earthquakes or floods. So houses that can withstand 7 or 8 magnitude earthquake, they have very strong foundation and very strong pillars and beams. And so for us to be able to withstand disasters, we need to have a good foundation. And to achieve it, we need to make offerings and accumulate merits and virtues. Please remember this. All right, next. I want to take care of our online friends. And we will have prize draws. If you I have handmade the beads and my hands are painful from making the beads, but I'm very happy to do so. So I hope that everyone, just like what we had done before, we will say 1, 2, 3 and stop. And the first 3 people on that screenshot will win a prize. Alright, let's get ready. First, the Chinese YouTube channel. Alright, Chinese YouTube channel, let's get ready. And I want to remind everyone, while you are getting ready, we heard about yushuhome.com. You can come online to make merits. And learning the Earth Store Sutra sponsorship will complete today on August 15th at midnight, and there's less than 4 hours left. So if you need to make merits and to achieve liberation, you need to make merits. So thanks, Master, for giving us this opportunity to make merits. If you need it, if your friends or family need it, spread it out. And there's only less than 4 hours left. And tomorrow, on August 16th, all the people who have already made the sponsorships, you can come to yushuhome.com and you will be able to download each video for each chapter of the Earth Store Sutra. And also, on cibeinc.com, free shipping on orders above $500. And this offer will complete in 4 hours as well. And so choose what you need and choose the Dharma treasures that can help bring auspiciousness to your family. And also on our bodhicollege.com, there is the sponsorship for Grandmaster JinBodhi teaching the Earth Store Sutra, and we will produce these teachings into books. And also, gilding the Earth Store Bodhisattva's golden statue is also available right now. You can gild Earth Store Bodhisattva's body for yourself and other people. And also, light offerings and Earth Store Bodhisattva's blessings, light offerings will also complete later in August. And everyone's ready already. They are always saying, pick me, pick me. Alright, let's get started. Stop. I need to find how to take a screenshot. Stop. Let's see who is so lucky. The first 3. The first one is Wei Qiao, and the next one is Jing Shu. Congratulations. The third is Zhong Xing Shang. Congratulations, everyone. And there's more chances. Let's get ready. We're on the Chinese channel right now. Stop. Let's see who's the first one. The first one is Xiao Chan Ao Jin Dongrou. The second one is Jennifer Ong. The next one is Helen Zhang. Congratulations. And there's more chances? Alright, we're still on the Chinese channel. Stop. Let's see who's lucky this time. The first one is Wei Jing. The next winner is Nancy So. The third is Eileen Cheng Huai. Congratulations. Is there more opportunities? Alright, we'll give out a lot of prizes today. I can make more beads. Alright, get ready. Stop. Let's see who's lucky. The first one is Stella. The next one is Bo Sang. And the last one is Jin Wuchen. Congratulations. There's many people on the Chinese channel. We'll take one more screenshot. Get ready, stop. The first one is 崔素熙. Congratulations. The next one is Game Boy 1688. The next one is 金仓秀. Congratulations. Okay, let's move on to the other channels. Okay, Korean channel first. We're moving over to the Korean channel. All right, let me take a drink. I remind everyone that there are sponsorships available, and in today's teaching, when you make merits and virtues, you can gain liberation. The more merits and virtues you have, the more liberation you can attain. And PuttyCollege.com, there is the sponsorship for the book, Grandmaster's Teaching of the Earth Store Sutra. And everyone is working very hard for this book. And we look forward to this sutra's explanation very much. And also, the Gilding Earth Store Bodhisattva's golden statue. And this sponsorship, this merit is yearly on an annual basis. And there is also a light offering. Master is very compassionate, and you can make a light offering and create a karmic connection with Earth Store Bodhisattva with just 18 US dollars. All right, so we are on the Korean channel right now. Get ready to say 1, 2, 3. Okay, get ready. All right. Stop. The first one is Yvonne, and the second one is Yunyu. The third is Li Ying. Okay, that's 3 of them. These are from the Korean channel. More? Stop. The first one is 幸运草. Next is 金璇. The third is 来也我. Congratulations. It's good that they came. Okay, one more on the Korean channel. All right, the first one is 安山果慈. The second is 星星, and the last one is 舍利子. Congratulations, that's the Korean channel. And we're now moving on to the English channel. Get ready. We're on the English channel now. And I want to give a announcement for our next live stream is in Vancouver time. It is Saturday, August 20th at 6 p.m. And in Asia Taipei time, it is Sunday, August 21st at 9 a.m. And this is a great live stream as well, because we are still in the Ulaanbaatar season, and Master is very compassionate. Master will we have learned many principles in the sutra, and Master said that we didn't have a chance to chant sincerely. So on Saturday, Vancouver time, we will chant sincerely. We will chant Earth Store Bodhisattva's heart mantra. And this is a great chance to make merits. In the sutra, it said that if you chant the mantra or a bodhisattva's name once, then it can eliminate the karmic effect from many lifetimes. And also on that day, Master will answer our friends' questions, and I look forward to this live stream very much. It's great to chant with Master. Alright, let's get ready on the English channel. The next live stream, I hope many people love these handmade beads that I will make 360 more beads, and I will give it to our online friends. Wow! I can make some. I won't rest, and I will make these beads. Oh, everyone here is smiling now. Alright, let's get ready. English channel. Stop. Let's see who's lucky. The first one is Xin Xiangyun. Congratulations. Next one is Xin Xin. And also there's another Yvonne Ying. So if we picked your name, it doesn't matter how many times we picked you. If we picked you 5 times, we'll give you 5 beads. Alright? Let's continue. Stop. The first one is Sunshine. I think she is from Korea. The next one is Tian Tian Xiang Shang. And the third one is Du Quan. Congratulations, everyone. Next one. Stop. Wow, the first one. She always wins gifts. That's Eliza. And next one is Anshan Liu Lili. And the third one is Joy. Congratulations. Let's do one more screenshot on the English channel. I hope you all like it. Alright, get ready. Stop. The first one is Du Jin. The next one is Si Yu Yao. The third is Ci Yi. Congratulations, everyone. There are many people with good luck today. So that's all for our prize draw today. Our biggest prize draw will be next week, next Saturday in Vancouver or next Sunday in Taipei time. And there will be 360 beads, auspicious handmade beads as a prize. It's the first time that I've made so many beads, and it's not easy. In this class, if you had joined the class for one day, I trust that I believe you will receive Earth Store Bodhisattva's carings and protection. If you have joined the class for 7 days, I believe many karmic effects from over 100 past lives will be eliminated, and your present life will be auspicious, your wishes will be fulfilled, and your family will be harmonious and auspicious. I hope that next Saturday we can chant together. Alright, that's all for today's live stream. See you next week.
为什么耶稣 哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？哦哈哈哈，为什么耶稣哈？